So welcome to the first episode of the Star Trek database. Today we're going to talk about Captain Jonathan Archer. As I said, it's gonna be in alphabetical order, so we have the A and letter A, Captain Jonathan Archer. Jonathan Archer grew up dreaming about stars and dreaming going out to space and discover and go where no one has gone before. Jonathan Archer, born in 2112, upstate New York, Earth. So he's a human, obviously. His parents are Harry and Sally Archer. Harry Archer was one of the engineers actually who was working along with Zefram Cochrane to developing a new warp drive for the future lines of starships. For his 8th birthday, he received a book from his father, The Cosmos A to Z, and he always imagined going to the stars, and he was really picturing that nebula at the first page that actually later on he got to see in real life in the first season of the Enterprise. He grew up in the environment when his father was really into science and space exploration, and it was inevitable for him as well to become an engineer and become a scientist in the future. Tragically, his father died in 2124 in a Clark's disease that really made a really big impact on his life. He really wanted to finish his father's work, working on the engine, so in 2140 he was one of the 4 pilots who was working in the NX test program. In 2143 he was part of the NX Alpha project as well, with A.G. Robinson, a fellow Starfleet officer, and they became a rival as well because A.G. Robinson wanted to take out the NX Alpha for a test flight, and in terms of achieving the warp 2 speed and breaking the barriers, but they became a rival. Unfortunately, Jonathan didn't get the recognition at the first time. The ship unfortunately destroyed, but in the NX Beta he was able to break the warp 2 barrier with the help of A.G. Robinson and Commander Charles Tucker, who later on he became really good friend with. In 2150 he became captain of the Enterprise, the starship Enterprise. His mission as the captain of the Enterprise began in 2151 when they had to return a Klingon called Klang to Kronos as some sort of a sign of a diplomatic mission. The mission almost failed when they carried back Klang to Kronos because a bunch of Sullivan's ship attacked the Enterprise and they took Klang as well. Later on, of course, they rescued Klang from the Helix, and they went back to Kronos only to face the ungrateful wrath of the Klingon High Council. How very comforting, isn't it? Captain Archer is a really good character in Star Trek Enterprise. He was really an explorer at the beginning. He was really out there trying to be calm, and he was so excited. Obviously, the Delphic Expanse changed him a bit. He was more of okay, we have to get the job done, because if we are not going to succeed here, all humanity will be the cost. In the Delphic Expanse, he was even torturing people to get information out from the sphere builders, and he was even became a thief as well when he stole warp coils just to have the Enterprise engines running.
What you can't have, you take by force.
We've beamed 3 containers of Trellium into your cargo hold as compensation.
They didn't give it to him and he had to take it.
Because I have no choice.
So Captain Archer has become a bit of a different person in the Delphic Expanse. That's dating the season 3. He sounds like a bad captain. He wasn't a bad captain, he just had to do the necessary steps. And remember, those days were different than the days in TNG or DS9 or in Voyager. We can't judge Captain Archer based on those acts because those were special circumstances. Although we can actually fight with the fact that Captain Janeway is stranded in the Delta Quadrant for facing 70 years worth of journey in one ship, going through Delta Quadrant, an unknown space, an unknown region of the galaxy, facing with unknown aliens. Most of them could be harmful, and it turned out to be quite a lot of them harmful actually. So. But obviously that was a different era, that was a different stage of the space exploration, so they didn't know who to ask for. Captain Jonathan Archer was also the first person who made first contact with the Romulan Empire, with the Klingons, with the Cretesans, with the Visians, with the Andorians, although that was by mistake. And he also encountered many races like the Borg, like the Ferengi. His career as the captain of the Enterprise, as the commanding officer of the Enterprise, is ended on 2161, when they actually decommissioned the Enterprise and they sent her in the museum. After 2161 and signing the Federation chart, he became Chief of Staff, and in 2184 he became the first president of the United Federation of Planets, as he became also an honorary member of the Andorian guard as well. As friends, he had a really good friendship with everyone, but deep friendships he had with his best buddy Portos, of course, his dog. Also he had a good friendship with Charles Tucker and with T'Pol as well, surprisingly. She was the first Vulcan actually who became the captain, one of the best friends. And considering Captain Archer didn't like Vulcans at all at the beginning, this is a big thing, this is a big character change in his case. Jonathan Archer, played by Scott Bakula, who many of you might know from Quantum Leap, and obviously he plays in NCIS, where he plays the lead character as well. Overall, I think I loved Captain Archer because he was more of a human, more closer to us in terms of time, and more closer to us in terms of diplomacy and what I could imagine as a good leader. When I was watching the series with my parents, and my mother actually told me he better like Captain Archer because of the reason he was more human and more fun, more light-hearted than Janeway or Picard. They had their own moments as well, but Captain Archer was more of a friendly bloke, if I may say. He was a really friendly captain. He had his light-hearted side, but obviously he had his dark side and his dark hours as well in the Delphic Expanse. But as I said, that was a different sort of situation, so I don't blame him what he did in the Delphic Expanse. So yeah, that was my first character data file from this new series. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comment section below if you liked this episode, and please let me know as well if you liked or disliked Jonathan Archer as a captain or as a character in the Star Trek universe. As always, thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to receive all the geekiness twice a week. And until next time, live long and prosper.